Hello, we, the Coach Jack Daniels, at the Boxing Trace channel. We are live. Today, we are live. We are blessed to be alive, all of us, those in attendance, and me, myself, and I are blessed to be alive. And we give all the glory to the Creator for putting us in a position where we can harmoniously, y'all, chat and me participate in the chat. We all are participating in the grand scheme of life. And that is a fact. So today we're going to talk about blunt force versus tactical skills and the upcoming fight in Juneteenth, the week of Juneteenth, which is set for June 15th, is a sort of like a black celebration week, Juneteenth, right? It has some historical, uh, factual black history events that transpired in the month of June. So, thus, in the uh, intellectual no represent June 15th, the month of June as Juneteenth. Actually, it's Juneteenth Day, but we also use June as a rallying point for Juneteenth. That being said, on June 15th, we have Javante Tank Davis versus Frank, and I named him the Bank, Frank the Bank Martin. Y'all call him the Ghost Martin. I call him Frank the Bank Martin. You heard me? That's my little thing with the labeling of Frank Martin. What y'all think about this particular fight? Now, in my humble opinion, I believe that Frank Martin, which is 25 years old, he's 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. He's a southpaw. He has 18 illustrious wins, 12 by knockout, no losses, no draws, and no stops. He's ranked number 2 by the WBA and number 4 by the WBC. He has not acquired any championship belts. I mean, in the scheme of world titles, I should say. But I think he may have a secondary belt. I think in the WBA department. I am not sure, so do not hold me to the fire if that's inaccurate, right? Because I'm not sure. But let the record reflect that Frank Martin, in my opinion, is a good boxer. And this makes for a good event because Frank Martin has developed, in my opinion, a tactical pursuit toward his skills in boxing, right? He's a tactician, right? So that would make for a good fight against Javante Tank Davis, which is also 29 years of age. He's 5'6" with a 69-inch arm reach. He has an inch reach over Frank the Bank Martin, right? He's also a southpaw. Now, 2 southpaw going about it. One brute force and one a tactician. Hey, this should be a good event. You know what I mean? Based on the fact that you have 2 forces that are dominant in both regards, the tactician and the brute force, right? Tank is 29 wins, 29 wins, 27 by knockout. He has no losses, no stops, and no draws. He is equally held multiple world titles in 3 different divisions: super featherweight, junior welterweight, and he is the WBA lightweight champion of the world. Right now, I'm not going to get into the validity of how he acquired that title, right? Because actually, he is the holder of the title, and he is considered as the WBA lightweight champion of the world in the WBA bracket. So, with that said, what y'all think about this particular fight? I kind of see it as a 50-50 fight. I know people are going to want to knock my head off because they believe otherwise. And speaking of my people, right, I have been in a position where I'm lacking in substance in a lot of regards as far as um, having the necessary interviews or having the knowledge, the skill set to um, chop up or use videos as references for it. I haven't got to that level yet, but I am thankful to a kind-hearted audience that they are receptive to the things that I say to them because it is obvious that they have a propensity to believe in this particular pundit, this particular journalist. And hey, look, I am just overwhelmed with appreciation for the people that follow my podcast. And there has been a few people, one from Durban, South Africa, that has uh, indicated that they would help promote my podcast in South Africa. And that in and of itself is a mind blowing thing because today people have kind of like given up on humanity. And I always speak to humanity, right? How I believe that there is a greatness of good in humanity. Now, there's a lot of things that goes on in the world that suggests otherwise, but in my humble opinion, humanity is a thing, a a natural occurrence in life that I think that we have gotten away from protecting the interests of how we feel about humanity, right? And um, I have a personal fondness for believing in humanity because when we stop believing in humanity, we stop believing in each other. You know what I mean? I get off course when I talk about boxing, but boxing is a part of humanity. You know what I mean? So I'm basically applauding those that have enough human sensitivity, right, to support my channel and to push me to the point where I will be, as I have proclaimed that I want to be, number one in the boxing journalist uh, business. This is what I love, and I am I'm overwhelmed with the support I'm starting to get. So I say that because I requested y'all to to help me out with my subscribership, and y'all doing that. I mean, y'all are just, you know what I'm saying, stepping up to the plate. Rodney in Telimo, that's my brother from South Africa. Shout out to Rodney in Telimo. Bud just jumped in. Hey, Bud, how's the brother? Shout out to Bud Boxing, y'all. So, with that, uh, I appreciate y'all more than you know, and this is fuel to the fire that encourages me to get in here and learn this computer system. It's not an easy task, but gradually and persistently, because that's the type of person I am, I have to get to the bottom of this, right? I'll get this done, and I'm going to make this a better platform. And again, not just for me, but for everybody involved. And the circumference involved in that is huge. It's huge. is huge. So those two chatters are greeting each other, which is a good thing. Rodney and Tilimo said, "Afternoon, bud." Shout out to the podcast. So let's get back to this fight. Now, I said it's a 50-50 fight based on the fact that you have two different elements, right? You have tactical skills versus blunt force. If Tank hits you hard, and he gonna hit you hard if he land, right? You going out, right? Tank's only defense for that. No, excuse me. Frank Davis' only defense for that is his tactical skills, right? To not allow not allow Gervonta Davis to cut off the ring and put him in a position where he gonna get socked. He gonna get socked. So with that, Bud says afternoon to Mr. M. Tilamo. Shout out to y'all, brother, for participating and showing some humanity within the boxing community. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. So with that in mind, tell me what y'all think about that. This particular fight. Is it a good fight or is it just another fight? In my opinion, it's a good fight. It's a good fight, and it's one of the fights that I think that we need. We need to have. See, this is what I refer to when I say it. We need to come together and find a mechanism to challenge the garbage and the foolishness that goes on in boxing, and start demanding that these promoters that's putting on these fights, right? That they put on fights that we want to see. See, the arm of the people has a long reach, right? But we don't really acknowledge that because we don't unite our forces as one to demand the things we need in life, right? If we say a certain thing is wrong in whatever element that we talk about, whether it's in politics, boxing, police, anything, right? If we get together and stick together and protest, right, we can get some change. And that is not going to transpire until we get enough gumption about ourselves to come together and demand the things that we believe is wrong. And that is said particularly in regards to boxing. We don't get the fights that we want to see because we don't demand to see them. So I want to throw that out there because I think that in society today we lack the encouragement necessary to get things done, right? Especially for my people, right? We don't have the unity to demand change in our circumstances and situations as they exist today, right? And until we do that, we're not going to have anything done. Ronnie into Lemon, it's a good fight. I think it is 60-40 Tank. Okay, that's a good. I mean, hey, I can sway 10 points on that, right? Tank has proven to be the more dominant boxer. So as a matter of fact, I can agree with that, right? 60-40 Tank, right? But I say that with the expectations that Frank Martin is coming to really fight, right? Not saying that Tank Davis isn't coming to really fight, but I believe that there is a lot of behind the scenes bickering between the two that is going to push this to a 50-50. Okay, that's why I say 50-50, because these guys really don't. I mean, they really don't like each other, right? And Frank Martin has put up a hell of an argument in regards to he ain't scared of Frank. He ain't scared of Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? He sees, and that's what. Hey, actually, I adore that type of thought process from Frank Martin in the sense that he's saying that Gervonta Tank Davis is just another fighter. He ain't looking at him as the knockout artist that he really is. And actually, seriously speaking, that's the way a good boxer pursues his opponent, right? He has to go in there with the confidence to be able to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Right? You can't go in and say, well, I can beat him. How you gonna win something talking about I can beat him? You ain't win nothing. You got to go in there with a dominating approach to every aspect of your game. You know what I'm saying? You got to go there and say, I'm gonna use my jabs, I'm gonna use my bobbing and weaving, right? I'm gonna press harder off that left foot when I jab or throw a hook or even a right hand, right? I'm gonna use the strength from my foot, right, to deliver the punch. You gotta use. You know, I'm gonna get off into uh sooner or later because I just don't want y'all to think that I just be talking, right? I'm gonna start putting on my jogging suit. I'm gonna have to get a webcam for this, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get a webcam, and I'm gonna start um, showing different views of different approaches to boxing, whether it's the jab or uh, whether it's using the back foot to to throw an accurate punch, whether I was gonna, you know what I'm saying, my experience with boxing, and I'm going to tell y'all this again, right? I was good. I was like I continue to say, my philosophy would float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. And therefore, and in order for a person to be able to be domineering and using that philosophy, he has to be well prepared. He has to be well disciplined in his approach to boxing. Frank Martin is a solid fighter. It's not as easy as people think for Tank. If Frank stays composed, it can be a tough one for Frank. Hey, Tank, it can be a tough one for Tank. Ditto. Ditto on boxing. Ditto on Bud Spark. Frank is a good boxer, man. You know what I'm saying? But people got their thought process on Tank this, Tank that, right? And I think sometimes we lose the focus on both boxers when we take the approach that tank, right? It ain't all about tank. And I say that as a pundit, right? As a coach, right? It ain't all about what you like, right? It's what you are able to take away or give to each one of the boxers as they pursue their or they, as they attempt to pursue victory in the ring, right? You can't go in this because I like somebody. You got. You know, I'm not speaking to the casuals. I'm talking about the hardcore boxers, right? I'm giving y'all an analogy what I think of how you approach boxing, right? You don't go in there with your feelings, right? You go in there with your mindset focused on skill set, the gifts and the takeaways, right? Tank, we know Tank got a devastating uh, uh, overhand right. He got a devastating overhand. Right? He gonna knock you down. He gonna knock the poo out you with that right hand. And he either-handed, right? You know what I'm saying? With his punch select, he's either. I'm not gonna say he's ambidextrous, but he has power in both hands. But that being said, right? That's one of the quality things about Tank's arsenal, right? Them hands, have a powerful impact to them. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel, you're gonna feel them punches when Tank take left. But the artistic nature of Frank Martin is to, you know what I mean? Check. I don't really get off into this very much, but a lot of boxers today, you know what I mean? And that's why I gotta build this channel up to be able to get to those locations where all these champions are, so I can tell them that I see a lot of stuff that I ain't liking as a boxer, right? You know what I mean? I don't see enough pivoting. You know what I'm saying? Boxers today do not use the pivot. They don't pivot as much. What they do is when they're when the opponent is moving forward, they step. It's always it's more stepping back than there is pivots, right? The nature of the pivot is artistic. You feel me? You have to know the artistic value of the pivot, right? You can do anything off the pivot. You know what I'm saying? Actually speaking, going backwards, going backwards. I mean, it's always been from side to side off the pivot, from side to side off the pivot, off the ropes, side to side. It ain't never been back going back with me. You know what I'm saying? I just the school that I came from. You know what I'm saying? The agility in your movement was so impressive and so impressive, right? That to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, you had to be able to have that agility in your arsenal. You know what I'm saying? You had to be able to move from side to side, right? Off the pivot. Off the pivot, fellas. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? You're going to stop taking me for granted and thinking that, oh, he just talking, that old man just talking. No, brother. You know what I'm saying? Off the pivot. Off the damn pivot. You feel me? Don't have me get silly in here with about this boxing thing, right? But I love boxing so much, man, y'all. I love boxing, you know what I'm saying? And that's a good analogy. Shout out to Bud Boxing about this isn't an easy fight for Tank. It isn't. It isn't. Bud. Shout out to Bud Boxing, y'all. And I told y'all to support that brother too, as well as we move forward to victory and building these platforms and getting something done as a unifying team. You know what I'm saying? Teamwork. You know what I'm saying? Teamwork. Power to the people that incorporate teamwork in their life. Coming together, embracing your neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Listen, before I get off the air, I want to share this with the moms out there in the community, right? That don't get enough of this type of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Those that have children in the community, you know what I'm saying, that lack the the man figure in the household, right? Do not allow yourself to be so overwhelmed with what's around you to be less aggressive towards those that are in the home that you board, your kids, especially the young men, right? Be less aggressive towards chasing some ignorant fool that doesn't have enough knowledge or enough respect for themselves to support you and the household. Stop chasing them types, please, because they serve absolutely no purpose whatsoever to moving forward with your family, right? I know it's a hard task, but the black sister is a dominating force in and of herself, right? She can't get it done as she has to do it alone. But know that in the general scheme of things, that the Boxing Trainers Channel got your back. If there's anything that I can do within my reach, call on me. Angles, Bud is right. Bud came up with the angles. You got to have angles. That's another character that I left out. But thanks a lot, Bud, for mentioning the angle. Everything is off the angle too, right? I mean, it's just so many different characteristics in boxing that make you great. And a lot of you cats, I'm telling you, a lot of you boxers, even some of you belt holders, right, with these belts, right, You got, it's a lot. Hey man, look, check this out, brother. You know what I'm saying? I constantly say that there's a few brothers that I know personally, right, that I've had conversation with, right, and that I have given my advice about certain things. Some they've taken, and I know they've taken it. They ain't said nothing about it, but I know they've taken it because I'm going back to the tape and I've seen the change that have transpired in the box that I gave the advice to. So what I'm basically saying is, do not take what I say about I'm a world-renowned trainer. Do not take that the wrong way and think that this old man is just talking, right? I got moves, you know what I'm saying? I know how to encourage a boxer to be great, right? Just me being in a ring with a person, right? The 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 the, the wherewithal that I possess in the psychological sense is uncompared to when it comes to being in the gym with a boxer, right? And making him, not making him, compelling him to feel comfortable with following these instructions. Following these instructions, and you're gonna be great, right? Following, I don't want. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the difference in boxing. Boxing is not a sport that you go into the gym with the boxer and it becomes negotiable, right? With me, it's nothing that is negotiable. You want to be a champion, right? You will follow instructions. I'm just bringing that to you so it lets you know that I'm available, right? Given certain circumstances, and I do have the knowledge and the the ambition, right, to make people champions. So, Bud, Rodney, and Tilamo, my brothers, I salute y'all. I would appreciate it if y'all hit the like, share share my podcast, and subscribe to my channel. I got to get that correct because it's supposed to flow, right? Like, share, and subscribe in that fashion, right? And drop a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think about the show, and if there's anything that you want to discuss behind the scenes that I can help y'all out with, check it out. And just drop a comment in the comment section. And thank you, brothers. Thank y'all. I salute y'all. Hey, keep supporting my channel, especially. No, I ain't gonna say especially all y'all, right? But that especially was to the brother into Lamo, because I believe that he was serious in saying, I believe that he was serious when he said he's going to help me support the channel, right? Because my ticks, my subscriptions have went up immensely, and I appreciate it, and my heart goes out to you, brother. With that in mind, I am gone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, eat good, and be safe. Later.